There's a new storm forming at the edge of finance, and it's not about Bitcoin or stablecoins. It's about CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. 130 countries are exploring them. More than half of the global population could soon use one. And the big question is simple. Will these government-backed digital currencies kill crypto or actually expand it? Let's start with what a CBDC really is. It's not a new type of cryptocurrency. It's the digital version of a country's existing money, fully issued, controlled, and guaranteed by the central bank. Think of it as cash, but programmable. Every unit lives on a ledger the government can see. Every transaction can, in theory, be traced. That's both its power and its risk. Today, most money is already digital. When you transfer funds through a bank app, no physical cash moves. But those are bank deposits, not central bank money. A CBDC would change that. It's like giving every citizen a direct account with the central bank. No intermediaries, no commercial bank deposits, no settlement delays. It's instant, final, and state guaranteed. For central banks, this idea solves several problems. First, it modernizes payment infrastructure, especially in countries where cash usage is collapsing. Second, it increases financial inclusion by giving the unbanked population access to digital payments. And third, it gives policymakers real-time visibility into money flows, a dream for monetary control. But here's where the story turns. Crypto was built on the idea of separation between money and the state. Bitcoin's first block literally criticized central bank bailouts. So if the same institutions now issue programmable money, what happens to the ideals of decentralization, privacy, and financial freedom? Let's separate myth from reality. CBDCs come in two flavors, retail and wholesale. Retail CBDCs are meant for the public. Digital cash you and I could hold in a wallet app. Wholesale CBDCs are for banks and institutions, a tool to settle transactions across financial systems more efficiently. Most experiments so far are wholesale. Projects like BISM Bridge, the digital euro pilot, or China's e-CNY for interbank settlements. They're not competing with Bitcoin. They're competing with SWIFT. But retail CBDCs, that's where the friction begins. Because they bring a new level of state visibility. Imagine every payment, every donation, every subscription recorded in a centralized database. Even if governments say privacy is preserved, they ultimately control the code. And code is law. That's why privacy advocates call CBDCs the ultimate surveillance tool. Now, to be fair, not every government wants that kind of control. Some designs explore tiered privacy. Small payments stay anonymous, large payments get reported. Others propose offline wallets using hardware chips, similar to cash. But the general direction is clear. CBDCs give central banks more leverage over how money moves. So, how does this connect to crypto? Ironically, the rise of CBDCs might accelerate crypto adoption, not kill it. Here's why. Once people experience programmable money, instant, global, digital, they start asking, why can't my money move like this everywhere? And when they realize a CBDC only works inside one country's walls, they start looking for open networks. That's where stablecoins, DeFi rails, and public blockchains step in. CBDCs may redefine domestic payments, but global value transfer still needs interoperability. That's something crypto already solved. Stablecoins like USDT or USDC act as global settlement layers that move across blockchains 24/7. Meanwhile, projects like Ripple, Stellar, and Chainlink are building infrastructure for CBDCs to connect with each other. Even the Bank for International Settlements, the BIS, calls this the multi-CBDC bridge. Translation: CBDCs won't live in isolation. They'll need neutral rails to talk to each other, and those rails will look a lot like crypto. Let's look at a few case studies. China's digital yuan, the e-CNY, is already in pilot mode with over 260 million wallets. It's designed for domestic use, fast, integrated with WeChat Pay, but limited internationally. The European Central Bank is testing a digital euro with privacy tiers and merchant integration. The US remains cautious, partly because of political backlash. The idea of programmable surveillance money is unpopular in Congress. But behind the scenes, the Federal Reserve is exploring FedNow and wholesale tokenized deposits. Different regions, same trend. Digital settlement layers under state control. The result is a financial landscape that's splitting into two directions. On one side, state money, programmable, regulated, closed loop. On the other, open networks, permissionless, borderless, market-driven. They will coexist, but with tension. And the real competition isn't technology, it's trust. People will ask, do I trust a central bank to protect my privacy and access? Or do I trust code and math to protect my ownership? Do I want a wallet that can be frozen or one that can't? Those choices define the next decade of finance. Now let's talk about the geopolitical side. CBDCs are also tools of power. They allow countries to settle trade outside the dollar system. Projects like M-Bridge, connecting China, Thailand, and the UAE, already test cross-border CBDC payments that bypass SWIFT entirely. That's not just efficiency, that's strategy. The more global trade moves through CBDC corridors, the weaker the dollar's dominance becomes. That's why the US is cautious, too early, and it threatens its own leverage. Crypto, in contrast, offers a neutral alternative. It doesn't care about borders or politics. That neutrality may become its biggest advantage in a CBDC-dominated world. As governments build their own digital walls, users will need bridges, and those bridges will likely be open blockchains. So what's the most realistic outcome? CBDCs won't kill crypto. They'll legitimize it. They'll educate billions of people on what digital money feels like. And then those people will demand freedom and interoperability that CBDCs can't provide. Just like the internet started as military infrastructure and evolved into an open network, programmable money might start centralized and end up decentralized. Still, we can't ignore the risks. CBDCs give governments powerful new levers: instant taxation, negative interest rates, spending controls. Money could expire, be redirected, or blocked based on policy. That's not science fiction. It's technically possible today. The only protection is transparency and public awareness of how these systems are built. So here's your framework for tracking the CBDC storm. 1. Follow pilot programs, not press releases. Who's actually testing CBDCs in real markets? 2. Watch for interoperability. If a project connects across borders, it's moving closer to the crypto world. 3. Monitor privacy guarantees. If privacy means we promise not to look, that's not privacy. 4. Track on-ramps. How easily can users move value between CBDCs, stablecoins, and crypto exchanges? That's where real competition happens. The storm is coming, but it's not the end of crypto. It's the moment when digital money becomes mainstream, and when billions of people start asking the most important question of all: who controls my money? Me or the code? This is not financial advice. It's a framework to understand how the next global monetary system is being built, and how crypto's open architecture might be the only way to keep it free.